So that pageant that we just saw, it's rooted in the most ancient solstice observations, right? The solstice, as it is articulated in many different cultures throughout time and space. A long time ago, it told us that people in the middle of winter were afraid the sun wouldn't come back. Maybe. I think I want to give them a little bit more credit than that. That perhaps by the age of 9, they'd have experienced the sun coming back every spring, and so maybe that wasn't so scary. Probably rather what was going on is that they were afraid that they wouldn't see the sun coming back. Sort of, it's like the fear may have been there, but it's more like a fear of if I don't tie my shoes, I might trip. But that is not, in fact, the reason why I'm tying my shoes to begin with. Does that make any sense? That may have been a terrible metaphor. I don't know. But from what I know about rituals, our cultures that ritualize this season, holy days were motivated more by their sense of participation in the rhythm of the world than out of fear. The natural world, the human world, and the spirit world, they were linked. They were interdependent, a part of the web of existence. These folks felt so interdependent with the natural and spiritual world that they believed that if they did not serve them, then the whole web may unravel. When one part of a relationship does not do their part, then the relationship ends. And when one part of an interdependent relationship does not do their part, all the parts end. So the ancients and the earth-centered cherish, tend, and create light in the darkness at this time of year to aid and abet creation, to ensure the integrated rhythm of the world, and to ensure their integration with it. That was their part. They were in service to the light. Now, cultures came and went, but this deep-seated understanding persisted. We participate in the creation of reality. That's the essential here. We participate in maintaining the rhythm of nature. We play a part in sustaining light. Each articulation of culture grafted itself onto this fundamental understanding of cherishing, tending, creating, and so serving light in a time of darkness. And this understanding expressed itself in the vocabulary and place of the day, whether it was Yuletide, Hanukkah, Christmas, or any of the other solstice holidays we heard about this morning. They all featured light. Celebrate light as a miracle, as grace, as blessing, as a reminder to themselves to hold on and hold out and persist through the darkness. But even if the story is told, or even as the story is told around light, and if it's about a miracle or some divine character providing it, nonetheless, in the ritual connected to the story of that miracle or divine character, the light in the ritual is truly brought about by human hands. For in the end, it is human faith and the persistence of dignity and love through the darkness of winter, discontent, disease, pain, or oppression that provides a method of participating in the fabrication of reality. Human faith in the persistence of dignity and love through the darkness of winter, disease, or oppression, provides a method of participating in the fabric of reality. Human faith. Keep in mind that during the solstice and at all times, life and death are not at stake. They're not at stake. Everyone dies. Life and death are guaranteed. Rather, it is fear of death and faith in life that are at stake. It is fear and faith that are at stake. Human faith in the persistence of dignity and love, that is our light. Underlying all the invocations of the sun in the midst of winter is the deeper invocation of our faith in the persistence of dignity and love. Even at your most feeble, your most vulnerable, you can have faith in dignity, your own dignity, and love. Solstice is the celebration and invitation of that faith. Solstice is the ritualization of that faith, the creation of hope amidst outrage. And where are dignity and love to be vouchsafed? I knew I shouldn't have written that word. Vouchsafed. Vouchsafed. Just read the word, it's right there. Live and learn. So, are we to find this in the cycle of the sun or the arc of the universe that bends towards justice? Yes, and yes. But mostly, our hope is found not only in sunshine or Yule lights, but in ourselves and in one another, in our faith. We carry the light. The light in the dark is us. And when we gather, we make more light. And this is necessary right now, is it not? It is dark right now. More dark this year than most. The future is uncertain at best, and uncertainty is certainly a kind of darkness. The powers and principalities of our world bear down on those we know or love or know of. They bear down on our children and our grandchildren and on our sense of fairness and righteousness. The powers and principalities of our world are reflected in this darkness of this time of year. Given that, how are we to be a light in this darkness? Immediately closer to home, right here in this very building, there is also uncertainty about our day-to-day and intermediate future as a congregation. Where will we be? How will we do this? Where am I supposed to do that and when? The status quo here is in upheaval, and there are little traps of inconvenience all around. Whose responsibility is this? Who can I blame?
I've been reading my emails.
No. I am. But that's the darkness talking, right? That's the fear talking. We cannot afford, neither as a congregation nor as a people within this republic, to cede our power to fear, to let our light go out, to give in to darkness. We cannot afford to do that. Let us rather listen to the ancient wisdom of those whose survival of literal winter was a real question. What did they know? What did they do? They knew that we were interdependent within the web of creation. They knew that we are creations of that web, even as we are actively engaged in its creation. They consciously participated in generating the quality of their universe. They saw themselves in service to the rhythms of reality. They were in service. So how do we cherish, tend, and create light in the darkness? First, remind yourself that you are a creation of the web of being, even as you are actively engaged in creating it. That is, in fact, a tenet of our faith. Then consciously participate in the creation of the reality in which we would wish to exist. Make of your life a ritual of service. Generous heart. Be in irrepressible service to the integrated rhythm of the world you wish to ensure. Be in service. This is new thinking for me. This is actually not my comfort zone to be in service, but it's a revelation from going up to Standing Rock. So it's your fault. And this is as much a testimony as it is a recommendation now. It's as much an observation as a prescription. While I was there, I learned that if justice is what love looks like in public, then perhaps it is that service is what spirituality looks like in public. The spirit of the camp was palpable and effective and infectious, and it was one of gratitude. Gratitude, of course, for all the grace in our lives, and gratitude for everyone's contribution that was there, no matter how massive or minuscule. Gratitude for their contribution to the action at hand, to the values upon which we base our faith, to this shared endeavor that is your life and our lives. Gratitude for what is to come, what we are striving for, what we are sacrificing for, and gratitude for that for which we hold out hope. It was all based in gratitude to even something that hadn't been realized yet. And out of that gratitude grew a sense of generous service. So the lesson for me is this. I mean, it was an amazing feeling, and I think that was the basis for it, was that sense of service in the name of a value. Ultimately, an affirmation of life. And the lesson is this: be of service to your faith. Be of service to one another. Be in service to this motley crew of liberal religionists. Be in service to this congregation as this congregation is in service to the world. Service and justice are linked as service and spirit are linked, as justice and love are linked. There are many opportunities to do this. After practice today, you can visit Betty Meikle. She's going to be helping you, there she is, helping you be in service to justice. As we prepare for Justice DA, there's lots of places where you can plug in. Could be in service to this congregation in many ways as we are in transition, even if that service is just bringing the gift of generous flexibility. So cultivate a spirit of service. Go beyond conscience-driven volunteerism. That's not what I'm talking about. I am talking about an attitude more than an act. If you achieve the attitude, the act will surely follow. But the attitude is the key. The attitude goes beyond the act of service, goes beyond the act of volunteerism, and elevates our service to a spiritual practice. So make of service a practice. There's a really fun double entendre there. This is what draws the Spirit near. Service is hope working. Service uncovers and brightens the light within us, and in this way, in the midst of darkness, invites the return of the sun. And look, here comes the sun.